This is my current laptop. It's a Dell Inspiron 15, I believe it is, 7000 series or something like that. Nothing too fancy. It's got a 7300 HQ in it. It is a pretty decent laptop, but it's got some issues. The battery we know has a problem. The memory we know has a problem. The Wi-Fi we know has a problem. Focus has a problem on the camera. We're going to do something about that. Mainly, we're going to do some totally unnecessary upgrades to an old laptop. Now, this is not a new laptop by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I believe it's 8 or 9 years old now. It's got a quad-core, 4-core, 4-thread, 7300 HU, I believe it is, Intel. It does have a GTX 1050 discrete GPU. It's a decent laptop in its day. It's a Dell Inspiron i5 7000 series. It came with 8 gig of memory. I think I upgraded that to 16 gig. I did put more hard drive space in it. I have since taken that back out, so I've swapped back and forth because at one time I had 1 terabyte and 2 terabytes, and I didn't need all that. So I think I've got like 500 and maybe 1 terabyte or something in it right now. Plenty for what I need. Because I haven't been using this thing as much. I've had some issues with the battery swelling, so I can't use the touchpad. The Wi-Fi, turns out it's Wi-Fi 5 and not very efficient. Well, it used to be, but not anymore. The memory is running at 2400. It's only 16 gig. And a couple other things. It's on Windows 10 because it's not eligible for Windows 11, technically. There might be some ways around all of this, though. So we're just going to have to go ahead and see what we can do to upgrade this. And yeah, it's not necessary. That's why I call it the totally unnecessary laptop upgrade, but it could help. Maybe we'll add another year or two to the life of this thing so I don't impulse buy another one. I don't know. Yeah, so here we go. All right, now I've already started some of the disassembly, but we're getting to the parts here that we're going to swap out. The battery definitely has to. You can see it's bulging. And it actually interferes with the keypad on the other side. So maybe I'll insert some B-roll of that here. I can't quite click on the right side or the left side of the touchpad like I'm supposed to. Actually, most of the touchpad. It doesn't pick it up like it should. The touch works okay, but clicking on it is a difficult, it's a hit or miss. And it's because this battery is kind of bulged. And it's bulged on both sides. So I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it is older. It's like 8 years old. 7 years old. This thing does have a 7300U in it. It's been a decent processor, 4-core, 4-thread, but it's not supported by Windows 10 anymore, so that might be the other thing. We were either maybe put Windows 10 the long-term service edition, or maybe a workaround for Windows 11. The memory here, there is 16 gig running at 2400. Rumor has it that 2400 is the max this will support, but I've seen reports of people running 3200. So memory, DDR4 memory is outrageous right now. Well, memory in general is outrageous, DDR5 especially. But we'll look at seeing whether we want to upgrade this to 32 gig or maybe just up it to 3200 or 3600, depending on what we can find. 3200 I believe works in here. I've seen people say that get 3200 to work. The hard drive and all that stuff, the SSDs, we're not going to mess with that because I've already upgraded and downsized those twice. But this little puppy right here, I believe it's Wi-Fi 6. We're going to swap that out and see if we can't find a Wi-Fi 7 adapter to put in here. So the battery, memory, Wi-Fi 7, and it's usually in pretty good clean. I usually keep it fairly cleaned out or in pretty good shape. But if we have to do a little bit extra, or if I find a really good deal and say a 1 terabyte or something, the 512 is staying. It's working fine. I don't need to change anything. But maybe I'll swap 1 or 2 other things around. Battery, memory, Wi-Fi card, and we'll go from there. Hopefully, this thing will stay charged longer. The touchpad will work better, and it might be a little bit snappier. Yeah, who knows? We'll see. All right, and it might be hard to see with the trackpad here, but some parts of it, it's really hard to see if it's not focused. You see some parts of it are actually raised up above the deck of the laptop. Some are even, some are below. And it's because the battery is warped underneath it, so it's pushing it up. But yeah, we're going to hopefully solve that with the new battery. And then, of course, the other thing with the new battery is that we'll go ahead and the time that it stays on battery, stays charged on battery, will improve as well.
All right, so we got a couple things here. I was wrong about the Wi-Fi. It was Wi-Fi 5, not Wi-Fi 6. But we did get a Wi-Fi 6E card. I could not find a Wi-Fi 7, but I got a Wi-Fi 6E, so that should increase it quite a bit. Right now I'm getting around 300 down and about 150 up, and I have 1 gig each way here in the house. So, yeah, there's some room to be left on the table. There's some speed left on the table. Hopefully this will take care of that. And then the other thing, a brand new, there we go. I have a brand new OEM battery that we're going to swap in there and replace the existing battery with. So this one is nice and smooth. Should be smooth on both sides. I haven't taken it out yet, obviously. There we go. Much, much better. The other one was bowed. We'll be able to take a better look. Focus. We'll be able to take a better look once we actually take it out of the package. But it looks much better, and it should allow us to, it should allow us not to have these issues that you can clearly see on the touchpad here, and maybe we'll be able to actually use the touchpad again. While we're at it, we're going to swap the Wi-Fi adapter. So that ought to be a pretty easy swap. The memory did not come on time. I did order it. I wish I would have paid a little bit better attention. It did say the 20th. And I hope to have this video out by the 20th, so I will still be looking for either that, faster memory, or maybe 32 gig of memory instead of 16, but that's going to have to wait. But we will try to do Windows 11. We will swap out the Wi-Fi card. Obviously, we're swapping out batteries, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, we got the new battery installed. That took a little bit of a feat because everything in here is a Phillips screw, but these are those little tiny hex screws, the little tiny Torx. Man, what a pain in the butt. But anyway, we got those in there with a little bit of patience. The other pain in the butt was getting this connection right here because it's so delicate to snap back on. But we got them. They're in there. They're good. The Wi-Fi card is swapped out. Now let's see if we did any good. We're going to have to charge this thing up, see if it holds a charge. You might have noticed that I probably did, if I didn't already do it, I'll do it here. But when I went to unplug the laptop, the battery life immediately went down to 97 and then right down to 96. And I think I even let it sit for a minute, and then 95% I had like an hour battery life. We're hoping we get a little bit more out of this.
So all in all, everything worked great. We did go ahead and replace the Wi-Fi adapter, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. We put one for a Wi-Fi 6E, a lot faster. I couldn't find one in Wi-Fi 7 yet, but I put a 6E adapter in there. Didn't have much of a problem. When I did put it in, it found it. There's actually a driver on the device, which was pretty interesting. So it went ahead and installed that. It saw it. However, when I went to go put Windows 11 on, it didn't see a driver, couldn't find a driver. And so it tried to tell me I didn't have a Wi-Fi device. Now, I probably could have taken it back out, put it back in, found that driver again. But what I did instead is I just plugged an Ethernet cable in the back, or in the side of it. Plugged in the Ethernet cable, it went through it, found the drivers, and la-di-da, no problem at all. We did go ahead and replace the battery. It holds a charge much, much longer, as I'm showing, I'm sure, some screenshots of how long the old compared to the new. It is not swollen, which I think we've discovered already. And I can use the touchpad a lot easier. It's very, very responsive. I forgot how good this touchpad was, and good job on Dell. It is marketed as a gaming laptop, but because it's so old, I just got used to over time not being able to use that touchpad. Now, I did take it apart at one time to see if I needed to replace the touchpad, and it seemed to work fine, and that's when I realized that the battery was just swollen up enough where I couldn't click like I should be able to, and it ended up not being responsive across the touchpad itself. Those problems they're gone. So all in all, we've been able to update the Wi-Fi, we've been able to update the battery, which also let me update or use or upgrade, I should say, or make the touchpad more usable. We've done a couple things. One thing we were not able to do is upgrade the memory. I did buy some. Now I found a 32 gig set, but it was most of the going price on that was already expensive. for a laptop, and it was hard for me to believe that, but I said, you know what, let me go ahead and try. I've heard that we can use 3200 speed instead of 24. Maybe that will be worth it to get 16 gig. I found some, bought it on eBay. They made a label, didn't ship it, didn't respond. Got past the time that it was already supposed to be here. I again tried to reach out and finally just asked for a refund, and it's not past that 7 days yet where eBay would help me get the money back. But no, nothing from the seller whatsoever, other than just printing the label. So I'm not going to call them out on here, but I would have liked to have been able to get the memory to try this as well. Will I later? I don't know. The laptop's working pretty well. I might not need it at all. And what I'm using it for, it's not enough to worry about. Maybe. I don't know. In any case, this is a total success in my book. For the amount that I was able to do for a decent price, just paying for the Wi-Fi adapter and the battery, we're talking about 50, maybe 55 bucks including tax and a little bit of time to wait. The Wi-Fi adapter, the 6E adapter, came off of Amazon, and the battery came from eBay, but it was a OEM Dell battery, and so far things are looking really, really good. I'm very happy with the result. So does this keep me from looking for an impulse buy of a new laptop? Yeah, probably for a couple more months at least. As much as I use the laptop, which isn't that much, it's going to do me great. It quite honestly will probably last me several more months, maybe a year or so, until I just get tired of it. It was not eligible for Microsoft's upgrade to Windows 11, but Rufus will let you customize some of the settings that will allow you to install some versions of Windows the way you like. We're just going to leave that one there and say that I was able to get Windows 11 on this machine. And that's where we're going to leave that. It worked out pretty well. So all in all, this is almost like a brand new machine for me, and I'm pretty happy with the results. So yeah, I would call this an absolute success on a totally unnecessary laptop upgrade. And I'm happy, and I'm smiling, and it worked out very, very well. So that's it. If you got anything out of the video, go ahead and throw a like on it. If you're not already subscribed, please do. There's more stuff coming up that really I have no business getting into, but we're going to do it. Including somebody asked me if I could get Bazite to work on an older Pentium type processor. I've got a few older ones here that I might try that with, and we still got some Linux distros to try on that one. But anyway, yeah, if you're not already subscribed, please do. That'd be great. If you don't do any of that stuff, if you don't like, subscribe, or hit me up on the other socials or anything, please just do me one favor, and that's be good to each other. Be kind. It's the holidays, you know. We're getting into the holiday season, and we probably need just that little bit of extra kindness right now. Doesn't cost anything, and you might find that it makes you feel a little bit better and makes somebody else feel a little bit better, and you kind of make everybody's day at the same time. So, until I get myself into something I got no business getting into, and there's a lot of it. Yeah, that's all I got, so I'll see you later.